Welcome to the Krsnatarian way of cooking. I am Radhika Pyari Devidasi and today we are going to make a simple and special thali recipe for the event of Radhashtami. Before starting this recipe, I would like to thank all my visitors, existing and the new ones, who have supported and engaged on this channel. Without your support, this channel wouldn't have reached this far. So thank you very much for all your support, feedbacks, comments, queries on this channel. Now this festival of Radhashtami is one of the most important and very close to my heart, and the reason why I have decided to make a thali recipe is because seeing the conditions of COVID in India especially, the temples are not really accepting huge crowds, or I don't know, even the temples have started operating in India. So I decided that many of the devotees might be wanting to make this thali recipe at home for the pleasure of their lordships, deities at home. So this is the reason why I decided to make a thali recipe. Radharani is the pleasure potency of Shri Krishna. She is known as the Ladini Shakti. The Ladini Shakti means the potency who actually gives pleasure to Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the transcendental world or in the spiritual world, it is said also that Radharani is expert in 64 transcendental arts. Now, one of the transcendental art is about making palatable foodstuffs for the pleasure of Shri Krishna. Now, the quality of Srimati Radharani is such that when she prepares or when she makes a prep one day, that same prep will not be repeated the next day. So, the amount of talent and creativity which Radharani has exceeds everything and everyone in this world and in the other worlds also. So that is why today I wanted to express my appreciation for Srimati Radharani, because of whom I am able to share what I have with me, this quality. Without her blessings and mercy, I wouldn't have started this channel and also shared all these recipes with you. So thank you so very much for all your support again. Let's proceed towards the recipe. First, we'll prepare the dough for the naan. So here I'm taking 2 cups of all-purpose flour, maida. In that I'm adding 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Then 2 tablespoons of yogurt, or you can even take a 1/4 cup of yogurt. And then salt as per taste, or around 2 teaspoons. And then around 1/4 cup of oil, or you can even take 2 tablespoons of oil here. Mix everything well and then gradually add warm water and knead it into a smooth and soft dough. There are many different other ways of making the naan. This is just one way I'm showing right now to you. Make sure that you knead the dough really well so that it activates the gluten inside it. Cover it with a lid and then keep it aside. Here I have few arbi, which is also known as taro root, and this is said to be really liked by Radharani. So first I'm going to peel this taro root nicely, and then I'm going to chop all this taro root. Usually people, they boil the taro root first, but I decided to first peel it and then chop it and then cook it all together. Make sure that the taro root are chopped in equal sizes. This helps in the cooking of the taro. Now I'm going to again put it in a strainer and wash it once well with warm water, and then I'll take it for the cooking. Now here I have some tomato, and this is 1 big tomato, so I'm going to chop it into small sizes. Now here I have a red big chili. So I'm going to slit it into half, and then I'm going to remove these seeds by washing it, and then I'm going to use the chili. Now I have taken a saucepan, and in this I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil, and then after this I'm going to add a teaspoon of mustard seeds. After the mustard seeds starts fluttering, then I'm going to add nearly quarter teaspoon of asafoetida, which is also known as hing, and then after that I'm going to add some curry leaves. Then I'm going to saute it just for a few seconds, and then nearly half teaspoon of carom seeds, which is also known as ajwain, and then the chilies which I had chopped. Saute it for a while and then add the tomatoes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some water to it, and here I'm adding around a tablespoon of coriander cumin seed powder along with a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and then this is 2 teaspoons of red chili powder, but this red chili powder is actually Kashmiri red chili powder, or you can also use Dahi red chili powder. This is just used for coloring. And then I'm adding nearly half cup of water, covering it with a lid and letting it cook. So now this is the spinach which we have. I have washed nearly 3 cups of spinach, and this is the cabbage which I am slicing it in this manner. Make sure the tomatoes are cooking on low heat. And then I'll take 1 inch of peeled ginger, and I'm going to chop that too. Now I'll be checking up on the tomatoes first. So they look completely soft and cooked, so I'm going to mash it a little bit with the spoon. And then I'm going to add the taro root. Now I will add nearly 2 teaspoons of salt to it, and then mix it well. And now I will be adding nearly a cup of water. Mix it all well, then again cover it with a lid and then cook it on low heat. Now I'll be adding nearly 1 tablespoon of oil, and in that I'm going to add around 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds, and then a quarter teaspoon of asafoetida hing. Now I'll be adding the chopped ginger in this. This is nicely sauteed now, changed a little bit of color. So now I'll be adding the cabbage, and I'm going to cook the cabbage for around 2 to 3 minutes until it changes a little bit of the color, like becomes translucent. Once that is done, then I'm going to add the 3 cups of spinach leaves which were nicely washed, and then I'm going to add only half teaspoon of salt. Because the quantity of spinach reduces drastically, make sure that you always add very little salt to this. Now I'm going to cover it with a lid and let it cook like on low heat just for 3 to 4 minutes, not too much. This is nearly half cup of green mung which I have taken with 1 cup of water, and I'm going to let it cook only for 1 whistle. And by that time now we'll be checking this sabji. So it's been like 3 to 4 minutes and this is completely done. So do not cook this spinach too much. It is really very nutritious. So just turn off the stove and then keep this sabji aside. Now is the time to check our taro root sabji. So I'm going to see whether it has cooked or not. By cutting it with this spoon, it seems that it has been cooked, but still I'm going to let it cook for around 3 to 4 minutes more on low heat so that it's completely soft. We'll make the rice. So here I have taken 2 tablespoons of oil. In that I'll be adding 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds, and I'm going to saute it a little bit. And now I'm going to add 1.5 cup of washed basmati rice to it. With this 1.5 cup of washed basmati rice, I'm going to add nearly 3 cups of water along with salt as per taste. You can either use 2 teaspoons or 1 teaspoon of salt in it. Make sure that the water quantity is not too much so that your rice will not be too soggy. So once it starts boiling, then you reduce the heat completely on low and then let that rice cook nicely. Now here my taro root sabji is done completely. So I'm going to turn off the stove and chop some cilantro, nearly a cup of cilantro. Chop cilantro and cover it and keep it aside. Now this is the preparation we will start for the curry. So here I have taken 2 tablespoons of chickpea flour, chana flour with 2 tablespoons of yogurt. I am going to whisk it really well so that it becomes a smooth paste and there are no lumps to it. This curry we are going to make with the moong dal which we had boiled on 1 whistle. So I am going to make sure that this is nice and smooth. Now here I am going to add nearly 1 cup of water and also again mix it well. And this I'll be keeping it aside while we'll prepare the chalk for the curry. This is like around 2 tablespoons of oil and I've added 1 teaspoon of cumin seeds. Once this is sauteed a little bit, then I'm going to add few curry leaves, pinch of asafoetida or hing, and then a teaspoon of turmeric powder, and I'm going to cook it a little bit just for 15 to 30 seconds. I'm going to saute it and then I'm going to put that paste, adding 2 cups of water to it, and then I'm going to let it boil a little bit and then add this gur to it, which is also known as jaggery. This is nearly 1/4 cup of jaggery. So once it has started boiling, then I am going to add another cup of water to it. And I'm going to let this jaggery or gur melt in it. Now let's check up on the rice. The rice looks completely cooked. I'm going to take a grain of rice and then I'm going to show you it has been completely cooked. That's it. We'll keep this aside now. Now here this moong dal which we had boiled or cooked is there and I'm going to add it into this curry and I'm going to again mix it. Then I'm going to add another cup of water to it and then another cup of water and then around 1 tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of red chili powder. Cover and cook it on medium heat for nearly 5 minutes. So this is the lettuce I'm going to use for the side salad. It is also known as Vilaiti Gobi. You can find it in India in the Reliance Fresh stores, or you can find it with the grocery vendors who are running their carts on the streets. It is easily available like that. And then after chopping this, I am going to chop also cilantro or coriander leaves, also known as dhania. This is for the curry which we are making. So this is nearly 1 cup of dhania you have to use. Now let's check up on the curry. It has been cooking for last 5 minutes and it's completely cooked as you can see. So now I'm going to turn off the stove and then add this dhania or cilantro to it and keep this curry aside. Next thing is making the raita. Here I have taken a cup of yogurt, nicely blended, and then I'm going to add nearly half cup of water. Now this is a powder which I had made from roasted cumin seeds, black pepper and also salt like black salt, along with some amchur powder which is dry mango powder. I always keep this powder at home just for raitas and everything. So I have just used that inside it. And then I'm adding some bundi. You can find this in Indian grocery stores. If you're living in the West, they are called bundi. And then I'm going to mix it well nicely and keep it aside. So this atta or the dough has been rising for last 30 to 40 minutes. All I'm going to do is again knead it and then roll it into this long cylindrical manner and then cut it into equal balls. And then roll each and every circular balls. Now I'm going to dust some all-purpose flour or maida onto it, and then I'm going to stretch the dough. Because this is maida and we have to make naan, you don't have to make necessarily a round shape, just have to stretch it long, which is the regular way how the naan is shaped. So after doing this, I'm going to pat some water on it. Then I'm going to place the wet part on the heated pan, and on medium heat I'm letting it cook now. And if you can see some bubbles rising, that is because the naan is cooking. Once this base is completely cooked, then I'm going to take the uncooked part and I'm going to place this on the other element in this manner only, because I don't have a gas stove. The element is on medium heat, so if you see that the naan is right now puffing. So once that is done, you have to check again the front side. Check up on the naan. If you see that the naan looks cooked from the front, then I'm going to let the base again cook a little bit. This is how authentic and traditional our basic naan looks like. You can also use butter on the top of it after the naan is cooked. This is how we can make a yeast-free naan. It is very simple and the flavor is authentic, very authentic. Now I'm going to place all the items one by one in the offering plate. So first thing is the jeera rice, which I made. After this is the taro root sabji. Then I made this spinach and cabbage sabji. Do try this sabji, it is really very nutritious. And then after this I am going to add the curry, moong dal curry. Then the raita. Then at the side this green leafy lettuce. And then I'll place the naan. The most important ingredient, which is the tulsi leaf, that is what I'm going to place now and offer it at the lotus feet of Sri Krishna, thus making Radharani and Krishna both happy. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.